Hello everybody, welcome back to Tophinator Streams, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, Part 20. Hopefully the conclusion to this Episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. So, we'll wait until people start getting in here. Hey, what's going on? There we go, first. Nice! Oh! Everybody's here! Nice. Okay. Did you hear? No. What happened? Alright. So I hope the rest will join in a moment, but in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and get things started. Now that we got some people in. Oh, day 3 investigation. Okay, maybe not the conclusion. Hopefully it is, though. That would be nice. You just typed random stuff? Oh, okay. Fair enough. February 24th. Detention Center, Visitors Room. Oh, that's right. We had to stop in the middle of it. Yeah. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you, I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Okay. Talk, lady! I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to stay to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom, may I ask, is the person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of? What is this person's name? Oh, Damon Gant, obviously.
Take that!
Well, Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was... me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Okay.
Take that!
You want proof of the chief's wrongdoings? Here it is. That evidence proves someone is doing something wrong, all right. But it's not the chief.
Who would that be?
Why, you, of course.
Me?
Yes, you seriously believe what you're saying, don't you? Now that's scary. You seem to have the makings of a criminal in you, what with all your fallacious accusations. Care to spend tonight in the cell next to mine?
If you ask me, you're the scary one. Okay.
So I didn't choose the right one.
Okay.
Fine. Blood traces. I just found this in a safe in Chief's office. This jar piece, and this piece of cloth.
I swear to God! Like, I presented the piece of cloth. Why didn't it give me the same results?
Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. Person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gan himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised, I cannot disobey the Chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman! Or perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Orders. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected, despite what everyone believes. Oh, just as I suspected, you... You were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon.
Oh, the murder weapon. You mean Edgeworth's knife?
No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then... she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again.
There we go.
My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right, then I called my sister. To tell her what happened, and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler.
You asked Emma?
I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. Ugh. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean... Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman. Oh, he disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. Yeah. He had already stolen the ID card. But it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. Hello, kitty cat. Aw, kitten. Hi. Hi, sweetheart. You come say hi to the people? Come on. Atta girl, come on. There we go. Oh! Okay. Oh, there we go. Alright. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. Ah. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything! Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued. We can keep going since it's early. Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one today. Alright. Yep. We save the progress. And this should be, final day. Yeah, final day. Trial former. Yep. Let's keep going. Hi, sweetie. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Uh-oh. Who's this? Ah! Okay. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of 77777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Oh. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. Come on. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. Oh god. Okay. You could not do that. That's what you could not do, little cat. Come on. Come on, it's alright. Come on, sweetie. You see her? Hi. Hey there. Oh, she's a good girl. Yeah, come on. Okay. Alright, well, there she goes. Is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. Cat, indeed. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. Oh, this is the first time he's ever done something like this? Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid, today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright. This is it. If I'm ever gonna find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. I'm excited! February 25th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. Rabble, 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 rabble. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement.
But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant!
Oh. Morning, folks! How's everyone doing? Hey, Udgy! Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that.
If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours?
Stop it. Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
She wants to do what?
Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble.
Kitty cat! What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana!
Objection!
Ow. You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation.
What are you looking at? Okay, my cat is freaking out over... It's not even a bug. It's just a hair tie. And she's, like, afraid of it. What are you doing, baby? Look, it's a hat. That's a hat. That's a hair tie. Stop being scared. Okay. Well,
Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
this can't be happening.
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Objection!
Objection!
Edgeworth, one moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature.
Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut,
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gent.
What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Oh damn, some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh? To whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of the truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gent? Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words.
Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. The legal horse! I don't know. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma. Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then. He sure gave in fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
So exciting. I love the drama.
2 years ago.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Hey, what's going on, Rosalind? Welcome to the stream. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. It's Rosie's birthday! Rosalind, happy birthday! Hey! No, it's not. What do you mean, no, it's not? Is it not Rosalind's birthday? You understand that if it is Rosalind's birthday, I'm gonna have to sing her happy birthday. Yes, it is. Oh, it is. Oh my god. Alright. Well, Rosalind, this is for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rosalind. Happy birthday to you. And many more. There you go. Excellent. And if it wasn't your birthday, that's for your birthday, so watch it back. Part 20. Okay. I can drink alcohol now. Sweet! Yeah! Oh, awesome. May I suggest a screwdriver? That is orange juice with vodka. Delish. Very good. Go nuts. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. Ah! That must have been a real shock. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I'm gonna get wasted, y'all. Hell yeah! Woo! 21 and you're feeling fine. Yes, excellent. I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage. When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside, and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. I'm doing all the drugs, too. You decided to turn 21 and start breaking laws? Okay. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie. But Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Okay, so we are just gonna push on every single subject. That's fine. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Rosalind. Yes, she was second in command under the deputy chief of police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair.
I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department... excuse me.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage.
Man?
Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on that day of the ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me.
What was the prosecutor doing there?
That day, excuse me, that day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in?
I don't clearly remember what happened then. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant.
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out.
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but then, just then, lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
Poor Emma.
I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
Present.
Oh, do you mean this picture? Okay.
There it is.
Objection!
Boom. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture.
Ow. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence.
Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! This is...
The evidence list for the SL9 incident?
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What's this?
Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Wow.
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What?
What? Rabble, rabble, this is a turn. Order, order. But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... What's going on, Logan? How you doing, man?
Ow. Your Honor. Are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Yes, that's quite conceivable. Mr. Edgeworth?
It's possible. Let's see. Well, you know, just chilling. Should I sell Kermit the Frog? Oh, damn.
Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask? It's okay. Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. Look at his face.
Kermit, cool.
Yeah.
That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence list restored and updated in the court record. It's not the Blue Badger. Ah! This is gonna be fun.
Very well. Witness, will you please testify about the picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? Baller girl AFK.
Yeah.
She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Emma's picture. Oh, here we go.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Emma's picture. Let's press on that.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gett and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows.
So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor?
Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed?
After that, I must have fainted.
You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No. I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning... excuse me. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further?
What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. I have a problem with that.
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
Wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, of course not.
I'd better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Yes.
Huh? Oh, well...
That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
Okay, so we need to...
Exactly what I saw in that instant.
Okay, present. I thought pressing on it would go farther.
What the hell happened to all my people?
Is everybody still here? Is my counter wrong? What happened?
Uh-oh. I'm streaming, yes.
Okay. Oh, you're here. Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. So Herman is cool indeed. He's seen some stuff indeed. Hey, Tori! Welcome to the stream. Hey. So apparently Andrew and Rosalind are doing something else. They were here for a while. And I guess they will BRB. Excellent. I'd like to... okay. Whoops. Should have saved. Shows exactly what I saw in that instant. It's Rosie's birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to Rosie. Okay. There's clearly a contradiction here, which means they want me to provide evidence. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. All I could see were shadows. Is this it? This is probably it. Nuh-uh. It's funny. Present. So you couldn't see the knife, right? You wouldn't have been able to see the knife. Okay, before we try to present this, let's save. That way we don't... Okay, Present. Shit. Whoa. I can see nothing faulty. Either look at the weapon. Oh. Okay, okay, okay. So, okay. Yeah. I could see where shadows. Then you couldn't see the knife. That's Edgeworth's knife. This is Joe Dark's knife. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. Load, and then we'll try the knife on, the last statement. And how could you see that knife? That doesn't make sense. Oh, come on. The fact that the guy with the knife at the back? What? I must have fainted. Exactly what I saw in this is because it's hit from the front. Flashlight? There was a lightning flash, and in that instant, she saw two shadows wrestling, and this is what she apparently saw. Oh, the autopsy report then, or something. Well, no. Hold on. Let's review the, yeah. Okay. Victims. Neil Marshall. Okay, that didn't work. Neil's autopsy report. Stabbed in the back. That's it. You're right. That doesn't make sense. Tori's right. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
You are smart. That's right. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. What?
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
It wasn't broken until afterwards.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. Also trying to remember what I saw in the trial a few weeks ago? Oh, interesting. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Ah! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Also, while the knife was broken before it was hit. Yeah, I know. I get you.
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right, but what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at that time. But she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
What's going on, Shyla? Welcome to the stream.
You saw a playthrough of the majority of this trial, so trying to remember what I saw. It's hard to remember the individual pieces. But we got it, it's fine. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already about a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. Yeah! Rosalind's birthday is today. She's 21. She can drink now.
Order, order, order! Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. Blah. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. Aw, classes started today. Aw, poor Shyla. Y'all, I can get wasted. That's right. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. Blah. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. Him in calculus, dang. Welcome back, Lawler. Woo! There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? There is another one. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. Hi there.
Hey.
Come on in.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife.
You gotta go again? Oh, dang! Well, easy come, easy go, I guess.
If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Oh, man. Let me just see this real quick. Yep, the answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is the picture of the award ceremony. Oh, this is the picture of the award ceremony.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Photo. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding? That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award.
Order, order, order!
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Kobe Gabriel Lim. Welcome. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Dang, man. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. Wee woo, wee woo. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in his dangerous situation. In this dangerous situation. Wow. Okay. Spam hand. Well. But that can't be. Thank you, Kobe. Appreciate it. Okay. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors award knife was the murder weapon, and the murderer and the victim... Oh, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean... this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh! Slaps Kobe with 259 pounds of force. Dang. First time I'm not the one spamming something. Lol, Tori.
But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Wait! I remember now! I remember everything!
Witness? Or witness?
Mr. Edgeworth! What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
Aw, box kitties. I knew it! This picture, I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture.
You want what? You want the kitty cats? Or...
All this time, I've been trying so hard to forget. Must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger?
This should be interesting.
Emma's recollection. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife.
Yesn't? Oh man.
Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly most unusual.
Try impossible.
Oh, okay. Well, send it again, you know.
The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
That said, boss texted me pics of guns at a near buy pawn shop.
Oh dang!
So he's gonna go buy another gun.
Congrats, Andrew! Woo! Hoomstav. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop! Please, don't pursue this any further! Lana!
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Now we're getting somewhere.
She thinks it's really
Yeah. Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Yes, you do. I know you do. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
So get really down. Oh, dang. Get down, everyone. Because Andrew's going nuts! So anyway, it seems we're finally getting to the core of this matter. Sweet! Okay, we can do this. Ah! I almost got the bug that was flying around. Almost got him. I grabbed at the air. Almost happened. Activates 50 miniguns. Oh god. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Would like to know more about that, please? What do you mean, you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur. Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural. Oh, dang. Let's go to the court. Oh, I saw the man about this. Excuse me. Holy moly. Okay. I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next?
Aw, Lawler. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger.
That's impossible, though.
Are you sure about this? Damn it. Where'd it go? Ah, it was right there. Damn. Almost had it. Sorry, guys. There's a bug in here. It's bugging me. Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here. But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. Deadpool has been found. Indeed. There is no court. Oh.
Continues eating meatballs. Oh! Well, the bug decided to go straight to my mouth.
Pah. Ugh. On Toph's shirt. Yeah. Deadpool. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him somewhere before. I'm supposed to be vegan. Indeed. Which is why I don't want it in my mouth.
That's definitely not the only reason.
It's the only reason. I just ate a bug. Not that I wanted to. I don't just go around eating bugs. Oh, good lord. Now I finally remember. Hideous beast. Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion. How dare you, sir? Bugs are vegan? Bugs are not vegan! Bugs are... Any living thing. You can't eat it. Or anything from a living animal. That's the whole point of being vegan. Do you crave murder so? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Absolutely. All the time. Being vegan has given me a powerful bloodlust. No.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
Use Uno reverse card on Andrew. Oh, dang. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. Okay. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. Turned to cannibals. Turned to cannibalism. Delicious people. This is pointless.
That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. Did you enjoy Valley? Oh, yes I did. Yes I did. That was super fun. Going out of bounds? Absolutely. I'll send a picture on Discord. There we go. That may well be. Ow. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really? I just might know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright!
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike.
That one. That thing right there. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like a blue badger. Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. Oh my god, this is that coronavirus you heard about? Oh my god. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint?
I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this. I mean, that's about right. So... Ah! We may get this wrong a few times, but that's about right.
I think you have the right idea to begin with.
Right? Just,
We need to...
oh, there's a hole at the bottom. That's right. Stop! Okay. So what do you think?
Bring it down a little.
Bring it down? Like that?
Yeah.
So you think this is it?
Yeah.
Does that seem right?
Close enough.
Okay. Holds jar upside down. Ah, it's not right. Gotta make it more look like the blue badger. Alright. This is annoying. So if we just do it upside down like that, would that be enough, you think?
What is this?
Yeah.
Forward a bit.
Yeah, it seems more like that. But... I mean...
Not quite that far though.
A little higher up?
Yeah.
Like that? Hold it sideways? Wait, why? Hold it sideways? You mean like that? Because that's not gonna work. Wait, what if we turned it like that? And then... oh, I don't know. Well... the top? The top sideways? How about we smash it? Well, it was already smashed. We put it back together. Let's try that. Ah! do, 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 do. Okay, that looks a little bit better.
Yeah, the front probably needs that little part so it looks like the mouth almost.
So like that? Oh, come on! I'm so out of it. I don't even know. Maybe if we turned it this way instead? It's possible. So maybe something like, oh, there it is.
Oh,
See that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
That is what it is. Okay. Oh, come on. That was perfect.
Okay, try something similar to that.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just a little off.
That was it, though. We were looking at it. That, yeah.
A little higher.
A little higher? Like that?
No, the other way. Sorry. No.
I mean, that looks right.
Yeah.
Yes! Woo!
Alright, I gotta go.
Alright. Well, you have a good day. Thank you. Well, is this a miracle or what? I got it right now. Nope. I'm a genius.
Bye, Andrew.
No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. Thing is freaking me out. No, it can't be. Whew. Yeah, that was an ordeal. Order, order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Objection! Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know this witness saw this jar? I'm gonna send some OOB from Vault Wasteland. Oh, nice. Probably the location, I would say. Yeah. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. Will always be wrong no matter what you say. At that very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on the shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Yeah, it really is. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall?
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
Oh wait. The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Ow. Of course the perpetrator would have no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I could go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. Send a bunch... Yeah, sweet. Okay, also threw in one picture of me capeless. Sweet. Okay. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oof. She killed Neil Marshall on accident. Oh, that's rough. That is a rough one. Oof. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? Yes. What? No! He got parried? Oh no! That's what happened. Yeah. Oh. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is so unprecedented.
That's why it's fatal. Yeah, that's true. What? What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances... Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall! How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. You used perfect block, indeed. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. Golf. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. Not yet, anyway. I mean, Mia's gone away, so... And so is Maya, so... Nope. This all has been a wild goose chase from the beginning! Touché, Miss Skye. Of course. That only leaves us with one possibility. He already has a ghost that talks to him? Oh man. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright! Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek: the truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
This is the message left by the deceased. Me? That's supposed to be Edgeworth's job. I know, right?
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Time for crap. Ooh. Looks like everyone's forgotten that this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. This is going for too long. You need some Cocoa Puffs? Go get some Cocoa Puffs. You're okay. You can take a break, pause, do whatever you need to. It's okay. You can come on back whenever you're ready. It's all good. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. I know, me too. Kobe got me wanting Cocoa Puffs. Ugh. I'm cuckoo. Cuckoo, I tell you. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. And the victim's message will become apparent. No!
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these stains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Oh. Poor Emma. It's so sad. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocent. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Ugh. Imagine if the jar started to talk. Oh, yeah. Not Emma. How to do cableless run? Ooh, it'll be really hard. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Whew! Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Sky.
Worthy. Can't say I didn't warn you.
A meteor meme? Chief Kent.
Do you understand the implications of what you've done?
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not?
Ack.
Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if it wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
Nice. Alright. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
Order! 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 Order!
Rabble! Rabble! The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Oh man, to be continued. And I'm about all out of time anyway, so this is a perfect place to end it. Dang it! Well, we had a lot of fun today. And we found out Emma was an accidental murderer. So, that's fun. Whoops. Time to go, yeah. But I did want to say thank you to Andrew, Lord Most High Palm the Mount Smith, there, for being a Patreon supporter. Yes, I'm going to work. Calm down. If you'd like to join him in supporting this stream, you always can at patreon.com/Tophinator, Tophinator, and help support the stream. Now, if you're new here and you like what I'm doing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and make sure the bell notifications are on so you can catch me during the next stream. I've been Tophinator, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, okay? Bye, guys.